Hello, you beautiful person, you. Welcome to Kasama Creator, where we are in charge of creating our lives together for ourselves and for the world. My name is Marie, and I'm so happy and excited to introduce you to a dear friend of mine who I didn't know a year ago. I didn't even know her 6 months ago. And in these 5 months, we have become very close and very I think attached. I love getting her WhatsApp notifications on my phone. And she's just such a lovely person that you are going to love. Welcome to the show,
Thank
uh,
you so much, Marie.
Ania Kosma.
There is no coincidence. What a synergy with the name of your YouTube channel or your business and then my last name. So yes, thank you so much for inviting me, for being this guiding light, inviting me to speak because I am the one that it's always shying away, but I think it's time and thank you for seeing me this way. I am here away, like far away from where you are, but we are very connected because I'm in Europe, in Poland, and you are in US. So we've been connected since the day we've been put as a study buddy in the class, right?
Yes, and you want to tell everybody what it is that drew us together?
So I'm sure that one of the things is many things, but one of the things is astrology because we joined the class and we've been, and I can speak for myself, I've been really in touch with esoteric for almost all of my life, and astrology was really huge for me, but I was shying away from it because of the cultural or family not really accepting it, and it wasn't really well spoken in the world as well. But then I knew that I've been pulled that this time in our life right now in 2026 or even before, we will be experiencing a big shift in astrology. And so I decided to actually go for a class and finish what I started deep down in my heart. And that's where we met.
Yes, and like you, well, you probably studied more than I did, but since I could read, I think I was 7 when I would look at the newspapers hunting down the horoscopes. And I don't know why, right? I'm a kid, but it was next to the comic strip. And I thought, oh, what's this? And it helped me just realize that we're not here just because, right? And I know horoscopes are different and they're not deep as astrology, right? But that's where it comes from.
But there was the interest, right? I felt the same way.
Oh,
Also,
yes.
did and many times I don't know why I was drawn to it, even though then it was maybe mainly spoken about the sun sign as opposed to
Yes.
all the other things. So it's basically like if you meet a person and you talk about their eyes or they have a short hair or long hair, there is so much more behind.
That's a great comparison. Oh my gosh, I never thought about it that way. Yes. Yes, exactly. And so I decided to stop flirting with astrology and finally go on a get into a relationship, right?
Yes.
And yeah, I love the school we attended, and we're not being paid for or sponsored by the school, but Deborah Silverman Astrology was a really good entrance for me because it is about learning about yourself, right?
Definitely.
That was the level one's whole premise, was to fall in love with yourself and know yourself so much deeper.
Yes, and I
And
think that she applies, I mean, that's the great thing. She applies astrology in daily life, which, yeah, it's bringing it more like between the other realm and the earthly realm, right? So we can
yeah,
actually apply it in our life and really understand why certain things are happening the way they do and understand ourselves better. Yeah.
yes,
Mhm.
yes. And it helped me. I don't know if it helped you in the same way, but it helped me um, calm down about where I am at my life.
Mhm.
because at our age, we're past the midpoint. And so we think, oh, we haven't done what we wanted to do. Or sometimes for me is, I don't know what I want to do still, right? I still feel like a child that is waiting.
Mhm.
And I thought, oh, this is silly. I'm not waiting. I'm just being me, right? So it helped me really accept myself and accept the people in my life um, more
Where
deeply
they're at.
and
Yeah.
where they're at exactly, not where I think they should be at with me in my relationship to them. And it's really freed me. And that's what I want people to understand is that astrology can do this for you. It doesn't have to be the predictive, what do you call it? Kind of
Like
negative.
predicting the future, right? Or something that is
Yes, yes, yes,
outside of
no.
your control. Yeah, it's not that.
Exactly. It is not that. And I'm so thankful for that.
Yeah, I totally agree. For me as well, and also something that I've been understanding that, as you said, maybe like pushing myself too much in certain ways, or the timing wasn't right. I know I understand that certain things you have to put the seed down and it has to grow and mature and get lessons and different things. Sometimes repeating them as Saturn is teaching us
Yes.
what we don't have to repeat if we understand what it is. But at certain point, this is like the right timing for, let's say, myself that I am right here with you.
Yes,
So,
it's
mhm.
perfect. Yes, and let's talk about timing because that's what astrology is about. It's timing, right? And here we are, early February, and this is being released on February 20th.
Mhm. Yeah.
And even people who aren't really into astrology have been hearing about the fire horse.
Yes.
I personally like the crimson horse. That video you sent me was amazing. And I liked the way he said crimson horse. 'Cause it's so much more dramatic, right?
Yeah.
But that's, regarding Chinese New Year. But
Mhm.
astrologically speaking, what is it? What is February 20 about?
So you mentioned the fire horse. It's the Chinese astrology type of looking at astrology, right? We are looking at the Western, and on the February 20th, there is a. I'm gonna look at my notes because I don't remember.
Sure, of course.
There is a Saturn and Neptune conjunct. So from what I know, the Saturn and Neptune conjunct every 36 years. So it happened in, let's say, 1917, when was the Russian Revolution. Between 50 to 53, 1950 to 53, there was a birth of certain change in Russian politics. And then in 89, there was a Saturn in Capricorn, and the Saturn rules order, boundaries, and there was a collapse of the Berlin Wall.
I
With the,
remember that. Do you remember what you were doing at that
I do
time?
remember because this was the year, like 6 months before, I moved from Poland to Los Angeles.
Oh, so you weren't there anymore. Oh, thank God. Okay.
So I wasn't there, but this was huge because
It's huge.
solidarity,
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
the solidarity was born in Poland, and the movement
Yes.
helped the collapse of the Berlin Wall. So that was huge. So this was happening when Saturn was in Neptune every 36 years. But this time around, they are meeting at 0 degrees and 44 minutes, I think, in
Hmm.
Aries. And this is the beginning of all zodiac, the whole zodiac. And
Yep.
this, we don't even know, the astrologers don't, they cannot even put it on the, like
The
on the
timeline.
yeah,
Right.
timeline. And I think that the last time, if this happened, because based on computation through, computer stuff, we can figure it out that it was in 4361 BC. So basically, I feel like we are being really born into something completely, completely new. And it's up to our energies, our consciousness to know where we're going. So the old order is not going to be sustainable anymore. And as we see right now, it's been crumbling with things that are coming out and the extra, battles that are happening around. and
Yes.
I'm so close to it as well in Poland, right? So
Yes.
many
You're right next door. Right.
exactly, yeah. And Poland has been shifted back and forth throughout centuries. But this is something that I feel astrology is giving the light for people not to fear it as much because we know it's going to happen and it's happening, especially this year. There's other things that are happening also. I think that April will be huge, massive month of all the like 8 or 9 planets being in Aries. So it's beginning of very fiery.
Wow. Yes.
Wow. So it's birthing something new and depends on how we as collective and also as an individual, how we feel that we are really leading with heart open and in love as opposed to being always in fear or small or feeling not adequate. And I think that this fire is being born within our bellies already. So that's why we're here.
That's beautiful. Yes, thank you for that synopsis. Yes, the fire has been started, has been
Yeah.
lit,
Mhm.
and a lot of people are feeling it. And so this, what we're doing today is I think we're reaching out to people who have been feeling a shift in themselves
Mhm.
and not really knowing what to do with it. Because when you go through change, right? Going from the caterpillar to the
Yes,
butterfly, that's a real hard process. I mean, I don't know if you've ever raised butterflies, if you've done that with your kids or
I haven't, but
oh,
I've lived.
yes,
I can relate because I
yes,
am a huge in transformation and throughout experiences, life, and also astrology, where I came from as a South Node in Scorpio.
that's right. That's right. Yeah,
Something.
so that transformation, the caterpillar actually has to eat its guts. It
Mhm.
it it dissolves. It totally dissolves itself in the chrysalis and then reforms itself. So it's totally such, if anyone can get out there and look for the caterpillars and watch that happen, right? Even on a video, I think it'll help us embody the process because you don't just become awakened, right? You don't just, when you're sleeping, most people, when I'm asleep, when I was a child, I did not like when someone poked me and said, "Okay, it's time to get up, time to go to school, time to go whatever." And it's, "Oh
So
no, I
the
don't
body
want
has its
to.
own
I don't
mind.
it's
Mhm.
I'm still sleepy. I'm so tired." You give all of these excuses,
Right.
right? And then finally you get yourself up. So I believe that a lot of us are waking up well, the snooze button is already on, right?
Yes,
You keep
sure.
snoozing it, you keep snoozing it. It is time to wake up
Yes. So
because
the longer we wait, the more painful it might be. And so this is,
exactly, exactly. So
yeah,
you talked about your south nodes. So you want to talk a little bit about our south nodes and our north nodes?
sure. So my South Node is in Scorpio, and I have been experiencing a lot of different, turbulent times, if you would want to say it as past lives, or if I was born with this. This is something that I am very accustomed to be more in not chaos, but understand when people are going through a very turbulent and painful time. I don't shy away from it. I'm going right into it, asking questions and being in the moment of, I don't know, transformation. I know that it's going to get better eventually. So I usually, when I talk to people, I go deep really well. I mean, very quickly and very fast, not understanding why I was doing this, but that's what's been happening throughout my life until learned that this is my South Node, really being comfortable where I've been maybe for a long time, or this is something that I know. And so now, probably from around 36, 40 years old, the South Node switched to the North Node in a way. Of course, it's mainly integrating the South Node, so not really
Right.
forgetting about it, but taking the most important lessons and moving to the North Node in. Taurus, which is very grounded. It's very likes to have one place. It doesn't move too much. It's very comfortable, loves nice things, the good food and things like that. Clothing, because the Venus is the planet that rules Taurus. So I didn't understand why I'm going. And I felt that that's where, like, I've moved so many times in the past 10 years because I really loved being a nomad. So I've moved
Mm.
places, different after the divorce, after, we've been married for a very long time with my ex-husband. And after that, I've decided to just move from place to place, even to Poland, and live from Airbnbs. And so this was kind of comfortable for me. But then eventually I'm like, it was like something was pushing me to actually get my roots down. Like, where are you staying? So now,
Oh,
yeah. And so the energy was kind of pushing me into this, but I didn't understand it and I was kind of blocking it until I learned that my North Node is in Taurus. However, the tricky part is it sits in the eighth house, which is Scorpio's house. So it's very convoluted, but the houses in astrology are kind of like rooms. Like
yes.
we have a kitchen and bedroom, and so the rooms tell us where this is happening. So the eighth house is the kind of the room and the house of Scorpio. So maybe integrating more of the Scorpio lessons, but also being in this maybe more graceful Taurus's way, and maybe not going too deep into chaos or things, but being more of a help to transform, to help other people transform. Because I see a lot of
Mhm.
people on YouTube and others who talk about when they are around 30 and the massive, huge change and pain they are going through. My children, I've been a photographer, so I've been photographing a lot of people who were around age of 30. So their life experiences have been, shown that they go through the massive change. Then when you're 40 something, and then when you're 50 with the Chiron return. So there are a lot of like points on the astrological map that we know already that this is going to happen. So
Right.
guiding people through the energies might be very helpful if they know their chart, if they know some type of information that could guide them through their difficult times.
Oh, that's beautiful. Yes. And may I say that I've seen your photography website and it's just gorgeous.
Thank you so much.
You have an eye to create a piece that captures the essence, right? And that's what makes a good photographer is you see something that no one else can see or very few people can see, and at that split second you're capturing it, right? It's gorgeous.
Thank you so
Um,
much.
yes, I do. As you're speaking about your experiences, I'm thinking back of those ages, 36 and 40. And for me, it happened a little bit later for
Mhm.
me personally.
Yeah, it could go up to 44, I think, because it's Uranus opposition, and that sometimes takes 6 to 8 years before or after that time.
Right, right. So knowing all of these things helps us realize that we're not going crazy. So if someone says, I just want to quit my job and do my passion, if it whether it's photography or being a chef or whatever it is, most people will tell that person, what are you crazy? But there is something going on in the chart that could indicate, no, it's time.
Exactly. Yes, it's
It's
time
time
and
and follow
confirmation. Yeah, follow it.
follow that shift, follow that calling,
Yeah,
right? And that's why I think that's why we're both so in love with astrology, is that we also see it in our children. So we can actually look and say, oh, that's why you're so feisty, you
yes,
know, that's why you're able to, speak deeply about things that most people don't. I'm like referencing my own children without saying who it is. um, that's why you can talk about death so well. Scorpio rising, right? A lot of Scorpio in
right.
a chart can do that.
Yeah.
And I always thought there was something wrong. And now I have such an appreciation because those subjects that most people don't want to talk about are still integral to our humanity. We need those people, or why I have the traveler, like you're saying, he can just pick up and go,
Mhm.
and go to like the strangest places, not go to Jamaica or, for a vacation, but go to places that no one really wants to go to.
That's amazing. Yeah, so this is like Sagittarius, let's say. It's like higher learning and different cultures and different ways how people live.
Exactly.
Perfectly, right?
Exactly.
So it doesn't have to be that your Sagittarius is in your sun
No,
sign. It could be your
could
rising
be
or
rising,
moon,
right?
anything.
Or
Yeah,
could be somewhere in the 10th, in the ninth house. Yeah,
exactly.
in the ninth house, right? There's strong presence. So, going to my children's charts, I really wished I knew about this sooner,
Exactly, yes.
right? I really wished, because I would have honored who they were in their essence, and maybe not have forced things upon them that they really didn't want.
Right, exactly. Yeah, and if we do a synastry chart, like when we put one chart up on top of the other, it shows us really sometimes how many difficult squares we have or things that not necessarily like we are pulling somebody this way and they are pulling the other way, but actually they are going the right the right way for
Right.
them.
Right. So what seems wrong is actually right. So paradoxes.
Paradoxes, which
So
is a funny thing because yesterday I was actually with a friend of mine who gathered some group of women and her mom passed away. And so she was exactly speaking about she lives in Europe and her time when the mom passed away was 10 p.m. Her sister lives in Australia and it was the next day in the morning. And both of them were like, no, my mom passed away in the morning. And she's like, no, in the evening. Two different points of view and different perspectives and different parallel, like
yeah.
consciousness, like we switch it around and same with astrology. It shows us, like how other people might view their world differently than we are, or how we feel as having moon in Aquarius or moon in Scorpio.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Two different things, right? But it's just so fascinating. It's so fascinating. So I'm going to go back to what I said. The January 17 is when the Crimson Horse comes riding, and January 20th, but it's all very close.
February 7th,
February, January, sorry. It's the month has gone so quickly.
right?
February 17 is when the Crimson Horse starts with the Chinese New Year.
Mhm.
And February 20 is the conjunction of Saturn and Neptune in Aries. And that word paradox, I heard someone talk about that conjunction as a paradox. And that really helped me, because Saturn is order, right?
Right.
Is as Deborah says, is the principal of the school, is the authoritarian figure of our life. And then Neptune is the dreamy one, right? Is the one that dissolves. He's the ruler of the water, Neptune.
Right.
So
Right.
there's no boundaries. And
Hmm.
so those two opposing forces right there can
Hmm.
create a paradox. And so, but I really love leaning into the esoteric meaning, right?
Hmm.
So I think that's why we're here, is that we are able to dissolve our fears
Give
with,
it. Hmm. Oh,
everything
chills.
that we've held on to,
Mhm.
right? Am I good enough? Am I perfect enough? Because I've got some Virgo also in me, like you. Am I doing it right?
Yeah.
Everything's got every,
Perfection.
everything has to be lined up and ordered and blah 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 blah, and that stops us,
Totally. Hmm.
right? And then so
Tell
Neptune's
me
here,
about it. Yes.
right, right.
To the point that basically I feel like my body is telling me it's like not feeling well because of stopping myself. It's like the horse that wants to run and you keep talking about the horse.
Yes, yes, that's okay. We'll go in and out like Neptune. It's okay.
No, I'm saying, talking about like the horse of the new year, of horse.
Yes, yes,
Like,
yes.
I want to
So,
run. Hmm.
right. So, you've gotten those feelings where maybe you were in a room and you saw someone that you wanted to speak up to and say hello, but then that thing pulled you back and said, no, 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 no. They're not going to want to talk to you. Why would they want to talk to you? And so that feeling gets settles into our body,
Right.
right? And then you have enough of that and you can create an ulcer. You could create ish situations in your
Yeah.
temple, right? In
Yeah.
your body that
And all kinds of things that trickle down
right,
to more stuff. Yeah. Hmm.
right, right. So Neptune's saying enough of that. Go with the flow,
Hmm.
but also Saturn, the way I'm seeing it is we do need some structure. So we have this platform. We're here. We're,
Hmm.
so that's the structure. So I believe if you study yourself enough, you really get to a point of standing back and saying, okay, I'll be fine, right?
Yes. And also the energy that it's happening right now is helping us to
Yes,
put it together, right? It's just actually perfect timing, the right thing to do and to be where we are right now.
exactly, exactly. So if someone's listening here and tiptoeing between worlds, right?
Mhm.
Just take a deep breath and go for it.
Right, totally.
Go
So
for it without hurting anyone. This is I, it's like when you tell a child, go for it, and you go, wait a minute, okay, just don't hurt
okay,
yourself or hurt anyone. Of
exactly.
course,
Yes, 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 of course.
we
I'm
have
sure that
parameters.
everyone will know what we mean, and yes. And so, yeah, if astrology is something that people are called into, and our hearts, we're happy to also be of assistance to other people as well.
Definitely, definitely. Shall we talk about the other thing that you're so good at?
Oh, you mean
So again, I'm good at flirting with subjects, and I realized, and you've helped me realize this too, is I'm double air, which means I have two air signs within the top three. And I never understood why
wow.
I liked I'd like to learn about a lot,
Mhm.
but I only flirt with this and flirt, go on a date with human design, go on a date with Gene Keys, go on a date, but I'm it's very challenging for me to really have a relation to go deep sometimes.
Right. So the
So
air signs are very mental. It's mental energy, and it just comes and goes, and like air, like fast and movement. So maybe that's one of the things that it's hard to ground it, right? So grounding
yes,
would be great. But then on the other hand, from now the new modality that I love as well is human design, and we both have, because I'm not going to go into details, right? Because this is something that we would
sure.
spend
For
hours,
another time.
right? Another. But both of us have undefined head center. So for both of us, it's easy to go flow from one subject to the next. And sometimes that's a great thing because we are open to many different things. But on the other hand, it's more on the surface level as opposed to going deep and following as if other people have it defined or have other things that it's like helping them to be more in one lane. So this is another thing that I love to also talk about, because human design is something that also shifts perspective for people, how to navigate their energy depending on their type, their not only type, but also how they can fulfill their energy in their life, as far as how to work, when to rest, how to eat, and many different things that would be helpful as well for people to learn about. But I don't know if you want to go more in specifics, but I on this, there is like 4 or 5 types, and I am on the least of 1 to 2% of people who are reflectors. So it's very not that many people are reflectors, but the reflectors, from what I've learned and experienced as well, we can shift from at different points of the month or the year, we can shift and become the other type for, I don't know, a day or 2 days or whatever. So basically,
Oh,
I can feel a lot of different when I am the other type, which the other type cannot become a reflector because we have all the centers open.
I didn't know that. Okay.
So, yeah, so, and reflectors are also people who do like kind of like a biopsy. So they go to different places, cultures, places, they live in different groups to actually sample them and see what works and what doesn't. And if something doesn't work, look at the reflector and how they behave, who they are, if their body is well. Because if it's not, that means that the environment is not well.
Oh, how interesting.
Yeah, so those modalities based on human design, and there is more information, of course. Some people move very fast and they build really well, like you're a manifesting generator. So your energy is really manifesting and fast because you have the energy to build and also energy to change different things. And also, this is maybe why you like different things, because this is really
Okay.
aligned to your energy. So human design has a lot, like there is a lot of basis on I Ching, but also on astrology and quantum physics. And so this is all coming together in a way as different point.
Modality, modalities.
Yeah, but they are kind of like, they have similar basis or
Oh,
similar,
right,
right?
right, right.
Information, like astrology is also in human design.
Yes.
So
It's
yeah,
a culmination of the different aspects of, right,
yeah.
different traditions. Yes.
So then if we apply this also to our life and understand who we are on this, in this modality, that's another layer of how we can help ourselves navigate this world, and especially this difficult times, because some people are not necessarily born, but they have very good predisposition to work a lot, especially if they love what they do. And some people don't have sustainable energy in like daily life. So sometimes they wake up and they have a lot of energy, and sometimes they don't. But because of this world and how it's been, right, with being
Yes.
successful and working and being overworked, people push themselves to work a lot. And also they push themselves to be more confident, where actually I feel from looking at charts and people, they are not born to be confident, whereas some people are. Of course, we learn the confidence, and we learn by, like being competent and repeating stuff, we
Yes.
become confident. But they actually they are not, they are born to feel everything around them, and that's why they are very great empaths, and people who have compassion to animals and things like that. So this is also very, very key for me to look at and live with.
No, that's wonderful. It's a good point because it goes back to the fact of honoring each other,
Exactly.
right? I'm not forcing a square into a a round hole. And that's what I think that we've been doing, in so many ways, in terms not just of our families, right? Some parents expect their children to be just like them, and
So
it's
that,
never going to
yeah.
happen.
So that's the whole idea of human design. It's actually to decondition what we've been conditioning people to, like children, to be. And yeah,
Yes.
and they live against who they naturally are born here to be.
Yes, yes. And I think we're both about honoring the person in their authenticity, right?
Exactly.
and even, your friend groups, our friend groups. I don't want all my friends to be like me. Why would
Yes,
I want that? That's so boring. You know,
definitely.
I love having people that are similar. Like, of course, there's something similar to attract one to another. But after that, it's so much more fascinating to find someone who's, like us. We have a lot of similarities, and even our life paths have
Right.
been very similar. However, we're two very distinct people with two very distinct, human design charts
Yeah, we
and
are on the opposite ends in a way,
right,
practically, if you would want to. Yeah, like
right,
you have a lot more energy than, for example, I would at a long period of time, but that's why,
right.
yeah.
But see, that's my point is that again, knowing this information from a different level, right? Because some people do say, like you were saying before, it wasn't traditional. I think from here on out, this kind of conversation, these subjects are going to
Mhm.
be very prevalent. This is how we're going to exist. Our grandchildren will be like, yeah, I know, this is me, that's okay.
Yeah, and especially now, like going back to astrology and the Pluto being in Aquarius, which
Yep.
ended last year in 2020, end of 2024. And this is very different energy, and it's gonna stay there for 20 years. And Aquarius is very we, not I. And
That's why it's called the Age of Aquarius.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah,
Mhm.
we're going to live the rest of our life in the Age of Aquarius. And so when people, become frightened of the things they see outside in the world, they just have to remember that the caterpillar had to dissolve itself first, right?
Mhm.
And eat its guts before it transformed. So our transformation as humanity, as our, even locally, right? It's always starts local. And we have to remember that it's a process.
It's a process, and I know and I feel that so many things are happening from the roots up. Like people are getting together, they are
Yes.
living off grid, they grow their own food, and they are really like even helping each other, smiling, towards your neighbor, or like the
Yes.
group, and whether it's astrology, like we've connected so quickly based on our interests, and like we live on the opposite ends of the world right now, but
Exactly. And it doesn't matter. And that's the one thing I wanted to share with everyone is that I didn't go into the school thinking that I would meet someone that I could really connect this deeply with. This was a bonus, right? The relationship with you is a bonus. But when we were getting paired up, when we were all introducing ourselves, there was something within me saying, I want to be her study buddy, you know? And so when she said it, I was like, yes.
well, this is the manifesting generator. You
I think we signed up as souls long ago to
right.
decide that we would meet each other again, right? I mean, some people believe it and some people don't, and that's okay. But I believe in past lives as part of my work involves that. And I really believe that we do sign up for each other, you
Definitely.
know? And we
Yes.
just say, okay, remember, astrology is going to be our thing.
And we will be talking about it right now.
Right, right. Yes. So thank you so much for your insights.
Thank you.
Is there anything else you'd like to share with us?
I feel I'm good for now, but I love to say that I'm available to people if they want to connect with me as well, and with us even, right? If we would like to
Yes.
talk with us, or in any ways. I feel that we are in a huge, huge, massive change, and we do create the world on our individual level. So if there could be anything that can help and soften your heart, open your heart, be more loving, and create a really better place, that's what I would like to share.
Oh,
And
yes, that's beautiful. Everything you said. And we will have all the information in the description box. Um, yeah, we talked about the theme of today's conversation and we talked about authenticity.
Mhm.
and being heart-centered. And so I love how you brought that in, is because it is love. Love is the answer, right?
Definitely.
Love is the answer.
And when you were when I asked you, you said to be open-minded, and that's exactly what it is, to be open-minded and see different perspectives from different people. Yeah, open your third eye and
Yes. And the mind and the heart have a connection, have a physical connection, right? That's from Dr. Joe Dispenza would talk about that. It's a real thing.
yes,
So we don't have to be all up in our heads anymore. We've got to bring it down
yes,
because we need to birth this new world, this new place that our children and, future generations can look back and say, our grandmas were awesome. you know, you know?
totally, totally true. Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Anything that you would like to say?
Oh, well, I asked you this another time and I wanted to ask again, and I'll share mine. But what would Anya now,
Mhm.
what would you want to say to your younger self, to the little version of you, the younger version of you?
Enjoy, go with the flow, everything in the right time. Don't be so hard on yourself and l- love unconditionally. Everything will work out the way it's supposed to. Just don't try to control everything so much. But that's
Okay.
Virgo.
That's Virgo. Yes, I understand that. That's my South Node. I understand. I understand that very much.
What about you?
I would tell my younger self that no matter what, everything will work out, that there is love for me, that people are there for me, and that I just have to ask sometimes for help, right? That whatever we need is always surrounding us. We just need to ask.
Beautiful.
You
Yes.
know, ask
Sometimes
and you shall receive. It's a very true thing.
ask for help from
Yes.
either another person or
Or the divine, your divine connection, right? And it'll come. It'll come. Well, thank you so much, Anya, for sharing this time with me today. And thank you, everyone, for being here and listening to our first ever episode of Kasama Creator. We thank you and sending you love.
yes. Thank you.
Okay, let me stop recording.
Mhm.